Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is 2021 May 4th, and today we are going to do Emacs. I'm going to create a Emacs, XahEmacs distro, okay? XahEmacs distro, and today is mostly just going to be Emacs. I'm going to create a XahEmacs distro on the fly, so it's going to be a competitor to DoomEmacs and SpaceMacs. So that's what we are going to do today, mostly Emacs. And if you have questions, ask me questions. Okay, post in the comments. Good morning, George. Good morning, New Wolf. Good morning, Emacs enthusiast. We have new people because it's a different time frame. Okay, so voice check. Let me check my status. Voice check, video check. I'm good to go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Chen Guo. Hey, Chen Guo. Good morning. First name, last name is yeah. So sorry, I had to reschedule today. So okay, so XahEmacs distro. Let's create a XahEmacs distro. So let's write it out. Okay, create date. Okay. On the pink window, you can see all my Emacs command calls, such as whenever I press a key, you will see the command shown on the pink window, and you will see the key shown there, and I'm using Starfly keys. So I'm going to create a XahEmacs distro. So this is going to be an Emacs package. You can go to GitHub and download it, and you have everything set. You know, I did this like 15 years ago, starting with ErgoEmacs about 12 years ago, 2008 also. And I did that for about 8 years. So it's, okay, so let's do XahEmacs distro. So why am I doing that? You know, I can do that easily, but for example, let's go to my Emacs init. For example, you can see here is my Emacs init. And the init file, okay, let me show you. Okay, so here you see, here is actually my Git directory. So if I go to .emacs, my .emacs d, so you can see this is my .emacs d, and you can see .emacs, not .emacs, the init.el, you see this file. And if you open that file, it's basically one single line, okay? Where is it? This one single line, load file, and given a directory. So this is my main init file. The custom set variables, those are created by Emacs itself. I don't want it. I don't need it. Erlang, Helm, PowerShell, Go mod, Smex. Okay, I don't really need it. But anyway, so .emacs .d directory. Then you have this init file. Then you open, and basically this is this one single line that's significant. Okay. Then we open that. Then you can see this is this directory is my main init file, and my main init file is this one, XahEmacs init. So it's kind of some kind of redirect. So all my Emacs init files here, and you can find them on GitHub. So normally, you know, this is what I do. But when this is one init file, and what does this init file do? This init file, the main init file, open, it will basically just load a bunch of other init files. So first of all, depending on whether I'm on Emacs, call Emacs initiate if the version number is less than 27, because in Emacs version 27 there's a new package initialization mechanism that does not require you to call package initialize. But before Emacs 27 you need to call that. That's why we have this line. Then require I do. Then basically then this code. Okay, this code is just loading relative directories, kind of a fix. But anyway, so this main init file is basically a load a bunch of packages and other init files. For example, first of all, load Emacs settings, Now this settings file, if we open it, it's ending in .el. Okay, so let's shrink back so you can see the pink window. So this file, if we open it, let's open it .el. So this file is about font, is about setting up font, setting up lots of font, Phoenician, Egyptian, Han. You need to do that if you are using those characters, especially on Windows. Otherwise, Emacs is going to be slow, usually, depending on the version. I'm not going to go into detail. So anyway, so this init file, XahEmacs settings, is all basic, the most basic settings that does not require any external package. For example, after you set font, then you set desktop mod. That means when Emacs restart, it's gonna reload all your open files. Then you global auto revert mod true. That means whenever a file is changed outside of Emacs, Emacs will automatically update that file when that file is open in a buffer. So this file is all the most basic setup. Blink cursor, no blink. I don't want blink. Column number mod. That's show the position of the column of the cursor. You can see on the mod line over here. All the basic init files. So that's this file. So back to my init file. So you load the basic settings, you load my abbreviations. Let's look at abbreviations. For example, I have lots of abbreviations. For example, the most used English words, second, minute, about, after, because, between, cannot. Actually some of them I forgot, so I don't use. So this one I use often. For example, let's see. Let me type UR. Okay, so let's what's going on? Go back. Wait, yeah, okay. Where are we? A brief file. So you see, I'm going to type new buffer YR. Okay, I mean UR. So if I type UR space, it becomes yours. If I type U space, it becomes you, YOU. If I type R, it becomes ARE. Okay, that's the abbrev is the most useful thing. The most, for efficiency reasons, abbrev is the most useful thing you want to do. Anyway, actually, I need to go much faster than this, but because today I'm supposed to create a XahEmacs distro, so it's kind of I can do it myself, but so it's. Meanwhile, you're watching me creating XahEmacs distro. Meanwhile, you are basically looking at my Emacs workflow. That might be useful for some of you. Like, for example, how do I open a file? I can open a file by calling this command. How do I go to a directory? I can just press two keys, and I'm in I'm back to a directory of that file is in. So you looking at my workflow or whatever. So okay. So I want to start to create a XahEmacs distro. Okay. Let me explain. Let me talk about why do I want to do that. So I've been using. So I started ErgoEmacs distro from 2008 to about 2012. Once you do about 2006 or something, about 5 years. When you do that, you become the tech support, because Emacs distro, my ErgoEmacs distro is especially designed for Windows users, because for Emacs, in the Emacs community, the Windows users are the ones left out, because all the Emacs are geekier, one geekier than the other. One is superior than the other. One is more elite than the other. They all focus on Linux, and they are trying to show which one knows Emacs better. So the Windows platform is typically left out. But I want Emacs to be powerful on Windows as well. So that was the main focus of ErgoEmacs. I can show you some links, but anyway, it's old. Okay, it's gone. It's it's not. I'm not doing that anymore. So I did that for 5 years, and the main issue is that you spend all your hours every day for several years working on it, and people just you become a tech support. People just use they I don't get I don't get much money, and they ask you questions all the time. You do get thanks now and then. People thank you. Oh, thank you. So this is so great, but thanks doesn't do much. You need money, donation, teaching. Okay, so if you like my stuff, buy my stuff or donate. Okay. So what's is there any question? Finally I'm here. So I started to talk a lot, and we haven't started to code yet. 12 minutes. Okay, let me continue. Yeah, let's just chat. Why not? I'm gonna so ErgoEmacs distro, and one of the it's focused mostly for Windows. You just go to the website, you download one zip file, and you uncompress it, and you are ready to go. You don't need to worry about init config, because it's all set up for you. And you have Python mod, you have JavaScript mod. Back then, JavaScript mod is not part of Emacs. So you have all that mod, you don't need to install them yourself. You don't need to, look, which one is the better package for JavaScript. Search for that, things like that. Save you lots of time. So that was ErgoEmacs, mostly focused on Windows, one zip file. And there's another focus that is ErgoEmacs key binding. Okay, so let me show you ErgoEmacs key binding. So if you just go to XahEmacs blog, you go to the keyboard Emacs keys, then on the side you can see Emacs key binding, how to, then key tips, then issues about Emacs Pinky, then you can see XahFly keys. This is a Emacs key system, very efficient, a model system for Emacs. But before XahFly keys, I spent about 10 years working on ErgoEmacs mod. And I call it, ErgoEmacs key binding, a ergonomic-based keyboard shortcut system. So this is the main show of ErgoEmacs distribution. When you install ErgoEmacs, you have the ErgoEmacs mod, and what it is primarily is that it redesigns. It's a key binding system for Emacs, so that you don't have to press Control key as much. Instead, you use the Alt key most of the time to navigate to delete words and things like that. So this is the ErgoEmacs mod. This is the main part of ErgoEmacs distribution. But around 2012, 2013, I kind of stopped working on this for reasons, because I was having problems in life. So Matt took over. So Matt Fiedler, so he is now maintaining ErgoEmacs. Where is the repo? ErgoEmacs. Yeah, okay, here. ErgoEmacs distro. Okay, so this is the I think it's still fairly popular. So in this key binding system, the design philosophy is that you do most things by holding down the Alt key with your thumb, so that it's more efficient, it's more ergonomic than using your pinky to press the control. And also all the move cursor forward, move cursor backward, and up, down, and delete characters and things like that are designed so that the keys are on the home row mostly. So it's basically these three fingers, your primary fingers, on the top two rows. So you can see on the right side you have up, down, left, right, and on the left you have delete words, left and right. things like that. So this is ErgoEmacs mod, still fairly popular, maintained by Matt Fiedler now for 10 years now. And also, by the way, this package, ErgoEmacs mod, is now part of GNU-Emacs Alpha. So we had to sign papers, very tedious. We have to sign. I, XahLi, assign all my rights to this code to you, the Free Software Foundation. And he also did that. And also David Capello. David Capello was the main guy who worked with me, who helped me create the ErgoEmacs distribution. David Capello is a C and C++ expert, and he is also a Windows programming expert. And he is the author of A Sprite. Okay, yeah, so you can see, let's go to his website. So A Sprite is a software for Windows, on Windows. I believe I'm not sure it's available for Mac or Linux. I think it's also available for Linux. But it's a software designed for retro game, classic arcade style game developers to create sprites. So that's A Sprite. Fairly popular. So I would recommend you support him. Buy his software. So where is his A Sprite? Can you click on that? No. Website. Okay. So David Capello, A Sprite blog, A Sprite. Let's go to a Sprite website. Okay. So let's see. JavaScript not available. Oh, Twitter. I don't want Twitter. But let's go to A Sprite website. Okay. A Sprite FAQ, A Sprite. Okay, so this is the, David Capello. He and me too. We supported open source. So A Sprite was open source. However, just like I mentioned before, when I did ErgoEmacs, you don't get much pay. You don't get paid, and meanwhile you work all day and night. So A Sprite was open source until he has to survive. So one day he changed the license such that you can still download the source code, but it's not like the the normal open source. I believe so, but you have to check the details. Anyway, so that's A Sprite. David Capello, he worked with me together. We made ErgoEmacs. And with some other help from other people, patches, sometimes things like that. So that was kind of the history of ErgoEmacs and ErgoEmacs mod. So that is why you can see my website, XahLi.org. I mean, if you just search for ErgoEmacs, you can see ErgoEmacs and Evil mod. People are trying to do comparisons. ErgoEmacs users out there, the study of people's efficiency in their working. So my website, my Emacs website the domain is still ErgoEmacs. Meanwhile, you can see the ErgoEmacs Quick Start Guide. That is the ErgoEmacs mod, a key binding system for Emacs. Okay, that's ErgoEmacs. That's so I had to stop. I stopped working on ErgoEmacs because no money, and I need food. That is why. Okay, so let's see what else for coding Deja Vu Mono. So any comments? No comments. Okay, so history of ErgoEmacs. Okay, so yeah, so I stopped working on ErgoEmacs because I need money, and then so there is a big problem in my life, and now I'm much better. And after a while, for reasons, because I changed my keyboard for reasons, I stopped working on ErgoEmacs mod too. So the Matt Fiedler just took over and he rewrote the engine. He went in his philosophy of direction. He leads ErgoEmacs mod. But after a few years, I happened to think about modal key binding because I was suffering repetitive strain injury. Right now, I still do. Like here, I talked about that several times. Is minor pain, constant. So after I stopped working on ErgoEmacs, but then after a few years, I thought about key binding. I thought about the modal mod system, like Evo mod, like Vim, like VI, and I think the modal system is actually more efficient in the sense that you actually type less. Your number of keystrokes is actually less when you do programming, when you use a modal kind of a system, because you no longer need to hold, control something or hold something whenever you want to run some command. So modal mod. So then I decided to create a XahFly keys. Okay. I guess you okay. So like let me show you. Okay. So that is when I started to work on XahFly keys, which is kind of a mix of ErgoEmacs mod, which is a very efficient design, the choices of keys. I mixed that with the idea of modal. So you have a command mod, you have a input mod. You no longer need to hold down Alt key anymore. So that is kind of the history of XahFly keys. So when I created XahFly keys, it was 2013. Now it's 7 or 8 years ago. And now I feel like I'm in a position to create a XahEmacs distro again. But I don't want to do tech support. I'm just going to create it. If you like, for any people using it, if you like it, you pay me. You donate, things like that. So how long have I been talking? So today I'm mostly doing the talking. I'm not actually creating the packet. So who else is watching 7? Okay, so talking. So should I so let's see what I want to do. Okay, have a drink. This is a energy drink, power drink. So XahFly keys. I'm pretty proud of XahFly keys because you can see it's very efficient, especially when you watch me do workflow. Okay, so actually close that. Okay, so I need to increase the window, otherwise you don't. Yeah, that's better. So close that. One key press. Yeah. So meanwhile, let me show you my keyboard. Okay, so you are going to look. I'm gonna show you my keyboard now. Then. So you are looking at, what is this? So you are looking at Kinesis Advantage 2 keyboard, okay? Kinesis Advantage 2 LF. L is linear. So I got linear cherry silent red switches. And on top of that, this is the ultimate hacking keyboard. That's just one part of it. The other part is over here. So one part is here, one part is here. I'm using it as a macro keypad. I showed that in many of my videos. My wife is gonna sleep, so I'm gonna just show you my keyboard then, not showing you my face. Okay, so let's just, I guess that way. Okay, yeah, let me do ad. So this video is sponsored by XahLi. So why is that? You just go to my keyboard blog. So you go to my keyboard blog, you click on ErgoEmacs ergonomic keyboards, and you can see my reviews of the Kinesis Advantage 2 and also my reviews of Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. And in fact, if I just press a few keys, you can see the software for Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, which is one of the greatest software. Yeah, the most great, you know, the one of the, and you can see all my keyboard macros right now. Okay, that's Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. Fantastic. Split. Okay, so you like them, go to my website, buy it. Okay, so now next, what's next? What we're gonna do next? I'm going to create a XahD distro. Yeah, so close that. Okay, so create a, let's begin to do it then. Okay, so let's see, how long have I been talking? 27 minutes. Okay, let's begin to do it. So okay, just watch me. Okay, so here is my Git directory, and let's create it. Where do we create it? Here. Let's create it here. Okay, XahEmacs. Okay, so you can see I've created XahEmacs. Okay, so open that. So it's empty. Wait. So it's empty. Split the window. Now we're gonna. So what do we need? Yeah. First of all, you need a init file. So okay, open a new window. Shrink, and let's go to my Emacs init file. Okay. So here is my Emacs init file directory. What we need to do is to okay, let's just start working. So any comments? Looks like cloudy sake. Oh yeah, so this is actually some kind of a rosy, you know, energy drink. I believe it's Monster. So what else? 9 concurrent users. Okay, so let's begin creating the XahEmacs distro. Okay. So first of all, open a new buffer, type something, save it, XahEmacs.el. What should I name it? Let's just say init.el. Okay. So we have that file. Close that. Okay, so let's actually move that here. So open the init file. So okay, let's just start to do it quickly. Okay, so open my init file, copy the whole thing, paste it here. So let me actually, the best thing when you do a video is you need to explain, because otherwise you have no idea what I'm doing. So let's in order to, before we explain, we write down what we are doing. Okay, so this is the main init file for XahEmacs distro. Okay, and in this file, it's going to load packages, load a bunch of other init files. First of all, load a settings init that does not require any packages. First of all, load a most basic settings init. Okay. Then load other packages. Okay. So we need this line, and by the way, you kind of need the first line there. That is called I forgot what's that called. That's basically this format you are looking at. That's the Emacs convention. You know, first of all, you see it's a comment. Then you do dash star dash, this kind of format. That's the Emacs convention for loading variables and values. So in this line, you can see there are two variables. One is coding, that's actually a Emacs variable. Then the other variable is lexical binding. So the value for coding is UTF-8. The value for lexical binding is T. T means true in Emacs Lisp. So when you have this format, by the way, this format is also adopted by Python and also by Ruby. Okay. Let me show you. Okay, digression. So let's go to my Ruby tutorial and show in browser. Back to Emacs. Let's go to my Python tutorial, show in browser, magnify. Okay, so let's look at Python first. So search for Unicode. Okay, so in this page, it's all about Unicode you need to know if you code in Python. So first of all, for Python 3, everything is UTF-8. For Python 2, you need to begin your file with that, you see, with this line. And why? Because that tells Python that your file may contain Unicode characters encoded in UTF-8. Then it will, the Python compiler will load it properly. So it's required for Python 2. So you can see, so this format, it's a common in Python, but then that's from the Emacs convention adopted by Python. Now, if you look at Ruby, same thing. Okay, let's click on Unicode. You see, this is a Ruby source code, and also Ruby adopted this Emacs convention. So now you know, if you are a Python coder or Ruby coder, next time you have to see this, oh, that came from Emacs. So back to the where are we doing? So close that. Yeah. So we were explaining the first line. So then, okay, that we explained require I do. So okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today. So I'm just going to type a lot. Well, I'm going to well, let's keep going, because loading custom commands and functions. Okay, let's do that. And get full path. So given a relative path, you want the full path. That's what this function does. Because Emacs is not, Emacs in this is not Emacs. How should I explain it? Because I explained the thing here in detail. Anyway, so what's next? We need to start to load files. Emacs settings, Emacs abbrev. Okay, so I'm creating a XAH distro, right? So why am I creating a XahEmacs distro? Because actually it's very convenient, because whenever I need to switch to a new machine, I have to essentially go through every file of my init file and kind of recreate it in the other machine. It usually does not work if I just copy all these files over, because they depend on, for example, they depend on some directory structure I have on my machine on Mac. But 2 months ago, I switched to Windows, so I have to kind of do this all over. But if I do have a XahEmacs distro, I basically just download a entire directory on the from GitHub, git clone, then I'm ready to go. So XahEmacs distro is actually convenient even for myself whenever I want to use Emacs on a new machine. So that's part of the reason it's useful to me, not just to other people. But I've heard other people want it too. I've heard some of you guys want it, so I'm going to create it. Okay, so what else? So I need to focus on here. So right now we have this one single init file, And in this init file, we load a bunch of other init files. First of all, load the settings file, and okay, so let's do that. Okay, so settings. Okay, so now go back here, search SETT. Okay, so copy this file over, basically copy the whole file. Okay, open a new buffer, paste it here, and back to this window, go to diet, copy the file path, close it, back to this window, save it, paste, save, go to diet. You can see there we have it. Okay, load the settings. Now back to the init file, load a brief. Okay, a brief is important actually, so let's open a brief, copy it over. So another way to copy over is instead of opening the file, copy the whole thing. Instead of doing that like we did before, we just this time we just switch to this style directory. So you want to copy this file to this directory. So we do it this way. Press capital C, yes, done. Okay. So you can see it's there. Now open the init file again. What's the next? Add of this file to load path. Okay, so yeah, so this means add the current directory to the Emacs load path. Load path is the Emacs variable. You can see by calling describe variable. Load path, you can see here's a documentation for load path. It's basically a list of file paths where Emacs will search those directories when you are loading a Emacs package. So okay, so you want to add the current directory to load path. You know, the current directory being wherever this directory is. Okay, then get thing or selection. Yeah, you need that. Okay, so so we start to load packages. Okay, so why don't I show you, a few of them, so you get the sense of how the whole thing works. We don't need to go over all of these, I guess. But I do want to show you how to get Softlight keys. Okay, so anyway, let's start. Okay, let's start. You have to start somewhere. So let's start to load this package. Start get thing or selection. Okay, first of all, open it. So it's yeah. So how am I going to do this? Let's see. Okay, let's just copy. Okay, open it, copy the whole thing, close it, back to here, back to this directory. Split the window, new buffer, paste it back to this window, copy the file path, save it, there. Go to diet, you can see get thing, okay? So what does get thing do? Well, I'm not going to explain, okay? So, yeah. All these are on GitHub, by the way. If you just search for it, you'll find it. These are kind of utility, Emacs Lisp utilities, okay? So, okay, next we need to do this. Okay, open it, wait, yeah. Open the directory, open this file, copy, close, switch to here, new buffer, paste, back to here, copy the file path, save it, done. Go to diet, and you can see here. Okay, now back to this window, close. Now you need this one, XahEmacs Lisp utility. Okay, open it, do the same thing, copy, switch here, new buffer, paste, back to diet, copy the file path here, save, paste, elisp ut, go to diet, you can see there. Okay, now we'll go back here, close. Next, okay, now so far we have basically created a structure that loads these files, yes. But however, we need to change something here. So you see, over here, it's going to load the path in a Git directory, but no, we don't want that. Because split the window, go back here, you can see, you see the get thing here is in the directory itself. It's not somewhere else. Yeah, let that be that. Okay, so later on, after today, later on when XahEmacs distro grows, I probably need a new directory for packages. But right now, let's let everything be like very simple. Okay. Okay, so back to here, expand the window, center it. We don't need this line and we don't need this line. Okay, so simple. Okay, now next I need to load XahFly keys. This is the most important. This is gonna be the primary show for XahEmacs distro. Okay, so I again open the file. XahEmacs XahFly keys is one single file. Copy it, close it, close it. Open a new directory, a new buffer, paste it. Okay, then save it. XahFly keys.el. Okay, now go to diet, refresh. You can see it's there. Okay, now close it, close it. So this section is all about loading XahFly keys. Okay, so in our case, in our new distro, we don't need this line because the file is just right there. Okay, then require, then okay, set keys layout. We comment that out because we want other people to choose. They are not necessarily using Vorak. Okay, then turn it on. Then XahFly command, yeah. Then we need to install XahEmacs. Okay, let me tell you how to do that. We need to do that. Then Xah run current file. Okay, let's not install XahEmacs for now because we need to do this quickly. Okay, then let's leave that. So okay, let's leave that. Okay. Okay, so far, so let's forget the rest of it, and let's just try it. See so far it's working correctly or not. So you can see. Yeah, okay, so save, reopen. So you can see this is basically now this is the content of XahEmacs distro, and this is the main init file. So let's open it. We covered all the code here. So basically we load basic settings, we load a brief, then do we have the brief file? Yes, okay. Then we load a few packages, okay? These 3 packages, then we load XahFly keys. That's the main thing. Okay, save it. Now, I'm going to restart Emacs. Okay, so restart Emacs and use this as my use this init file as my my init file. Suppose people I'm going to upload this to GitHub. So when people clone it, they are going to get this directory. Then okay, so let me hold on a second. Let me show you back to my face. Okay, so 13 people watching. Am I doing good? Alpha, Beta. Good morning, Alpha, Beta. First name, last name. Looks like Cloudy Sick. Okay. Okay, so okay, I'm ready to restart Emacs. But before we do that, we need to put this in the Emacs directory. Okay, so let's go to, hold on a second. So let's show the pink window. let's go to my Emacs.emacs, okay? So you can see .emacsd go up one directory. So you can see I'm in my home directory, .emacs. So this is .emacsd. I'm going to make a backup of this directory. Yeah, so let's do it. Rename _ date save. Okay, so I basically renamed my Emacs.directory. Now let's create a new directory, Emacs.d. Okay, so you can see I created a new directory. Open it, it's empty. Fantastic. And so what do I do next? Should I move all the files here into it, or should I like right now I'm thinking about basically the directory structure of XahEmacs distro. You know, one simple thing I can do is just move everything into it like that. But this is not going to be good, because once people, you know, clone my package, it's going to, you know, you don't tell them to just copy all the files into your Emacs.d, because Emacs.d is Emacs init directory. It will create lots of other things. Emacs will create lots of other files here, temp files and cache files. So it's no good to mix them. So okay, so let's move them back. Okay. So what would the directory structure be? XahEmacs. Okay, another solution is simply, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's just, for this video, let's do this. XahEmacs, just move the entire directory there. Okay, so we are done. So you can see up, refresh. So we have XahEmacs. So basically, when people git clone, they get this XahEmacs directory. Then I tell them to move this directory into .emacs. Then you need another init file, create a file, save it init.el. So tell them to create a init.el, and this init.el will load this one. Okay, load this thing. Okay, so how do you do that? What's the syntax? You can see the syntax is here. Okay, copy that, paste. We don't want the full path. Okay, so basically like that. Okay, so wait. At this point, you don't even have. You don't want that there. Okay, so because at this point people do not have this function yet, because that function is defined. Remember, we defined it here. So we want to just load. Okay, load. Wait, so load file name. Okay, so this is gonna be tricky, I think. So basically right now our job is to modify this line. We want to modify this line so that it doesn't call this function. However, it should do exactly what that function does. So we can actually do this. Yeah, I think let's hold on a second. Let's so load concat string file name directory. Okay, hold on a second. File name directory. File name directory. Okay, yeah, file name directory. So this will give you the full path. Yes, let's try it. Okay, evaluate that line, and you can see in the message buffer, you can see that that's correct. Then when you concact that with that, you get the let me show you. Okay, so you get the full path. That's correct. So this is correct. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so I just tell people to do that. Okay, so here, okay, that we are done. So the whole file is just this single line. Okay, yeah, so this init will load that, and we'll load this file. So actually that's it. Okay, now we are ready to close that. We are ready to close that. Where are we? Close that. Close that. Close that. Okay, now we are ready to restart Emacs. Okay, but now instead of restarting, we are going to cd home directory PowerShell. Okay, PowerShell. Let's magnify. We are going to start Emacs. Okay. Okay, so you can see once I start Emacs, it will load the .emacs file in my home directory, which is here. .emacs.d. Let's magnify. Okay. Open. Then you load this file. Open. You see that file. So please let it work. If it works, then we are done. Fantastic. So actually, you see now I have XahFly keys actually. So you can see, this is XahFly keys. 2 keys to go to the directory. Fantastic. And let's go to the message buffer to see if there's any error. So actually, so how do I there's no error. Fantastic. So that's it actually. So let's close this Emacs. Let's close wait, why is the close window doesn't work? Oh, save desktop. It asks me, do I want to save desktop? No. Okay. Okay, so that's it. That is, let me summarize, okay, what we've done today. Today, we just created this directory, XahEmacs, and the directory content is just these 6 files. So you have one init file that's just, it's just a few lines, okay? For example, if I, there's lots of comments here. If I remove all those comments, that's it. That's just a few lines. Basically, load some settings, load a brief file, then load several packages. That's it. And then the rest are, settings, a brief file, and 4 packages. And this whole directory is the XahEmacs distribution. So now I can do, now I can call git. So let's go to eShell. So let me show you. Okay, let's do the complete thing. So now I go to eShell. I say git git new repo. I forgot what's the command. Okay, now okay, no problem. Let's go to XahLi git tutorial. Okay. Then you go to Git Basics. Wait, what am I? Oh, okay. So actually, I want to go to Firefox. Hey, wait. This is Firefox. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, XahEmacs Git tutorial. Okay, so you can see Git basics. So to clone a project or to Git init, obvious. Git init. Okay, then Git status. Okay, then so yeah, okay, it's fantastic. Then Git commit. Oh, Git add. So we Git add, then Git commit. What? Why is my why is my command memory doesn't work? Git commit. I should have. Oh yeah, because of course, because I was trying to use the eShell's backward search feature because I've called git commit before, but however, it's not working. It's not working because I just swapped out my .emacs.d directory. The git repo, the eShell history is saved in one as a file in that directory, but now I don't have it, of course. So git commit m message in first commit XahEmacs distro. Okay, let's just say XahEmacs distro first. Okay, committed. Now go back to the directory, refresh. You can see we have a git file. So the next step is obviously just go to Git and GitHub and create a new project. Let's see if I can do that. XahEmacs repositories. Okay, click on that. New. Oh, XahEmacs already exists on this account. I guess that's my XahEmacs init. I need to change that. Okay, so actually I need to change. Oh, wait a minute. There is a XahEmacs because private. Yeah, because like almost a year ago, I thought about creating it. So I already have a repo XahEmacs. So all we have to do, yeah. So anyway, that's about Git. So I need to go. So basically that's XahEmacs distro. After a few days or a week, you'll see it on GitHub and you can use it. And we're gonna shut down in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, no comments. Okay, I'm gonna shut down. We are done today. I have to go. Anything else? Any questions? Yeah, so we talked for 1 hour, precisely 1 hour. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my tutorial, go buy it. Okay. So I have Emacs tutorial, XahFly keys. You can find my tutorials easily. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.